Come September.
In like 2 weeks, I'm going to be starting secondary.
Watch this space. The future
looks bright. Yes.
I remember I said I wanted to actually have a giant party with family members and just cook. I love to cook, as you can probably, and just cook a whole load of food and have everybody around and feel comfortable with them being around.
Do you think you'll keep going with some of that delivery work?
That's tailed off at the moment, but who knows, there could, talk of the second wave and that sort of thing. We could well be doing that again anytime soon. We just don't know, do we?
Yeah, we don't.
This is East Acton Stories, Life in Lockdown. So here we are, episode 4, it's the final episode. Over the last 3, we've looked back through lockdown, hearing stories and snapshots of the experiences people have gone through in this time, in this area. But for the last episode, we're going to look ahead. First, we'll hear from Keisha, who we spoke to in episode 2 about her work with What the Tech, providing befriending and tech support to older people. And then we'll hear again from the brilliant Lizzie about the future of Lockdown Library that we heard about last time and what this might all mean for our approach to children's mental health. So, episode 4, looking ahead.
Come September, we do have a school library, but we won't be able to take the children to it because of logistics. So what we're going to do is organise the Lockdown Library books into boxes for key stages, and then they will be distributed to the teachers, and then every week, once a week, the teachers will be able to let their children browse, and then works on a 2-week cycle, so the books can be like decontaminated, if you like, so they're safe to give out again. So yes, it's going to be a different type of lockdown library, but it will still be distributing books to the children as safe as possible when we're back at school.
What's the future for What the Tech?
It's a really interesting, really good question, because I think that's been something that has been, as a team, as a community, we've been thinking about this for some time. I think there's a couple of things that we are exploring at the moment. The first one being that we are really looking at how we could set up a bit of a tech bank. So how could we collect donations of equipment, and then find a way to clean them, recycle, and then redistribute them out to those who need them most. And then another thing, we've also talked about how we might be able to get groups of volunteers together that we can actually go out to, maybe to run a satellite session in certain locations where people can't get out, because we've had requests from certain community groups who maybe are working with groups of elderly or older people, and it's actually how could we do maybe group sessions in their space. Yeah, watch this space. The situation has really heightened these issues, but they've always been there. For many of our residents, they come to our space because we have computers and they don't have the computers at home. It seems inevitable now that this is something that needs to be addressed for those who need it most.
The future, watch this space. The future
looks bright. Yes.
And so I think the fact that now the government understands that a focus on mental well-being and everything, to talk about feelings and to be allowed to spend so much time of the day focusing on that, I think that's a good thing. I mean, we try to do it here as much as possible, but now it's kind of everyone has to do that, and we do it. We know we do a good job of that, but it's good to know that other schools will be doing that too. And yes, we've got to get them to certain levels. They've got to learn to read, they've got to learn to write, they've got to learn how to do maths, but actually they need to learn to talk about their feelings too. And I think the fact that there's going to be such a focus on that is, it will be difficult, and it's needed, and it's sad that it's needed, but I think if people realise that that's a good thing and it's a good use of school time, then I think that's positive too.
So I wanted to finish the series by sharing with you some of the sounds, voices and the conversations of a socially distant street party held after lockdown just on the edge of the Wormwood Scrubs. The act of people gathered together at 2 metres in this way, as an outsider, it felt like a little glimpse of some kind of future, loud with music and laughter.
Right, so here we are in East Acton, and we have Claire and David demonstrating their new community bike setup. Alongside the bike, we've also got some donkeys struggling over a carrot with a lady in a wheelchair. And it's a lovely sunny day. There was a shower earlier, but the sun's come out at the same time everyone's arrived.
Where are the donkeys from? The pony centre. The pony centre. I'll give you one at the moment. I'm going to just give him a little bit. Do you want this?
Nice to meet you, Rudolph. And what was your name?
Nancy.
Lovely.
Should we go over here?
What are you selling here today?
So it's mixed media jewellery. So we've got some laser cut acrylic pieces. We've got some homemade textile purses, and then
You can change.
How was that?
Good.
What did you like about it?
We got to see lots of different cars.
Yeah. And how did it feel being on with 4 people on the bike?
It felt really weird.
Do you feel very strong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt fast.
Wow. How does it feel like having something like this? Does that?
This is weird.
Yeah.
Look, it's at the house, isn't it?
Shaya, nice to meet you. I'm Elle. And what's your name? Lovely to meet you, Elle.
Your granddaughter.
Also grandmother. I thought it might be that. How does something like this feel for you in terms of re-entering the world?
I never go out anyway. Just stay in the house.
And how much have you guys got to see each other during lockdown?
Not that much.
And when did you start seeing each other again?
So sometimes when my mum and me would go to Iceland, we sometimes pop down here to come see my nan.
And then obviously came down for the donkeys today.
Yeah.
And have you seen the donkeys? God, I didn't even know there was.
Gone. I thought the kids would be on their back. No, they're not allowed.
And how are you finding today? All right, yeah.
I don't really socialise, so thing for me.
Well, I guess you guys can socialise with each other, which is really fun.
She's always on her phone or on her laptop, innit? Laptop.
As it started to open up again, I have been able to talk to more people that I do know and not be noisy inside, be able to go out somewhere. So I just finished year 6 a couple of months ago. So like we skipped half of the year 6, so we missed that.
That's so tough.
She's going back 2 weeks' time. You go back, innit?
I'm going back in like 2 weeks. I'm going to be starting secondary.
What do you call that school again you're going to? Phoenix? Well,
yeah, Phoenix. Only because it's the closest.
How are you feeling though? Are you feeling excited or are you feeling nervous?
Nervous.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get to learn as much in year 6 as everyone else gets to really learn it. And I'm just really
you don't
nervous.
have to go.
Hello, my name is Stacey and I'm 11 years old.
Hello, my name is Abigail and I'm 11 years old.
Hi, my name's Leanne and I'm 9 years old.
And what school do you go to?
Old Oak.
And what are you really looking forward to doing when this is all over and life can go back a bit more to normal?
Going to high school because there's a lot of new people and it's really big and it's pretty cool.
With my friends coming up together, and go out together, maybe in like the clubs.
Actually, not much. It's literally going to be the same. It's like I'm a year older. It's going to literally be the same. Like nothing's going to change. I'm going to be in the same playground and still be a year older.
Okay. And then you're going to be sad because I'm leaving.
Yes, I will be sad.
So, what's next? What's next for the people we've spoken to and you've heard from? What's next for you? What's next for me? No one really knows, of course, and the situation is changing day by day. I really loved that for Leanne, she just sees in her future just the same as usual. Something comforting in that. But in looking ahead and in trying to visualise a future or a different future, even if it's scary and unknown, we remind ourselves that the world will keep moving forward, one way or another. East Acton Stories Life in Lockdown was made by me, Eleanor Henderson, produced by the wonderful Eleanor Harrington, Old Oak Community Centre and the Peabody Trust, with generous support from United in Hammersmith and Fulham. See you next time.